All right, let's talk about the liquid staking Celestia tokens and which one is going to have the best airdrop. So right now we've got Milky Way, where you can stake your TIA tokens from milkTIA, which is a liquid staking token, and then you can qualify for an airdrop from the Milky Way protocol. However, recently Stride also launched a competitor to milkTIA with their stTIA, and they have an airdrop campaign on as well, where if you hold the stTIA token in your wallet or if you use it in certain DeFi protocols, then you can earn the Stride token airdrop. And so in today's video, I wanted to take a deeper look at this and examine which one is actually the best. What is going to give you the best airdrop? Now, in order to get into this, we first have to take a look at the differences between these two protocols. So with Milky Way, they have launched a points program called M Points. And basically what it boils down to is the more milkTIA that you hold in your wallet or use in DeFi, the more points that you earn. So if you stake with them, you can click on the button here with the little star and you can track your points. Now, it's not all about just holding the milkTIA tokens though. There's actually boosts and multipliers for using those tokens in DeFi. So when you just hold the tokens in your wallet, one TIA token gets you 1 M point, but if you use it in DeFi, one TIA token is supposed to give you 1.2 M points. Now, currently an issue with this is that I deposited all of the milkTIA that I have in this demo wallet here into Demex, which is a DeFi application, but those points aren't actually showing up yet on the Milky Way dashboard. So I believe this is going to be fixed at some point soon, and this wallet should get a lot more points here in the DeFi activity section for the deposit that I made on Demex. But basically what this boils down to is it's a points campaign leading to an airdrop, and we don't actually know how much you're going to get. However, this is kind of similar to the Jito airdrop structure, although there's a lot more wallets farming this one. Then if we compare the Milky Way or the Milk token airdrop to the Stride airdrop, this is a little bit different because the Stride token already actually exists and they're not running a point system. They're literally telling you how many tokens you're going to be getting based on the amount that you stake with them. Now, the important thing to note with Stride is that you don't actually get to collect these Stride tokens immediately. They sort of accumulate here in your dashboard in the portal, but they will be unlocked in 6 months. So with Stride, I'm liquid staking 10 stTIA tokens, and I staked them about a week ago, and every day I'm earning about 0.15 Stride tokens. So the cumulative total for what I've staked here works out to 1 Stride token, and this program is going to be ongoing until the total amount of Stride tokens for this airdrop is completely depleted. So this right here is the total amount. There's $21.25 million worth of Stride tokens that remain to be airdropped, and your portion is determined by the amount that you stake relative to the total pool of stTIA holders. Now, currently the price for 1 Stride token is $5. And so by earning 1 Stride token so far, I've basically earned $5. However, in 1 week, I think that's actually quite good since the total amount of my deposit is currently worth $177. So in a week, I'm earning an APY that's like 3% or something like that. On an annualized basis, that's actually quite good. But then the question actually is, which airdrop is going to be better? Should you allocate more TIA tokens to Stride stTIA or to Milky Way milkTIA? Well, there's a couple of ways that we can break this down. For starters, we can take a look at the actual staking APR and make sure that they're quite comparable. So for milkTIA, it's 13.8%, but for Stride, it's only 13.54%. So it's not a massive difference, but that's one bonus in favor of milkTIA at this point. Now, the next point of comparison is, do you actually get boosts for using your liquid staking Celestia tokens in different DeFi apps? And with the Milky Way token, that is the case. You get bonuses if you deposit it into DeFi platforms or if you provide liquidity. And for Stride, as far as I can tell, there are no boosts or bonuses for doing so. You still get to qualify for your airdrop points if you hold the token on Stride or if you provide liquidity on Osmosis or Neutron. However, I don't see anything talking about bonuses for doing so. The other important difference is that with the Stride airdrop, it was front loaded. So a greater proportion of the Stride tokens allocated to users is allocated in the first 60 days versus the last 90 days. So you get more tokens per day if you get in early and fewer tokens over time. So actually the amount of the airdrop and the value of the Stride airdrop is gradually tapering off. And when you compare that to Milky Way, where basically you just accumulate as many points as you can and then you get one massive payout at the end of it, It's not front-loaded or structured to really benefit people that come in first, although obviously if you were there on day 1, you have more time to accumulate points. However, you could still come in on day 30, deposit a large amount of TIA from milkTIA, and then actually catch up or accumulate enough points to make it worthwhile. Versus with Stride, if you miss the first payouts, then you're kind of at a massive disadvantage. Now, aside from all of that, there's also the fact that the Stride token already exists. It's already in circulation and has a market cap of almost $500 million. So when they release a large amount of the tokens in new supply for an airdrop, when this actually unlocks in 6 months, what is going to happen to the price of this token? It's not like it's launching newly on day 1, and there's just different market dynamics around that. And when you compare that to the Milk token, it's going to be completely fresh, launching from start. There's usually just more excitement around that because it's a fresh launch, and so in that way, it's more similar to Jito, although, like I already said, there's way more wallets, way more people farming the Milky Way airdrop than the Jito airdrop. And so while CC2, the GOAT on Twitter, has talked about this and kind of compared milkTIA to Jito, I don't know if it's actually going to replicate Jito. However, even if it captures just a portion or a fraction of that success, then obviously this is going to be a big win. On the other hand, I found this guy on Twitter, John Galt, who kind of argues the other side. And since Stride is giving 5% of its token supply, but it has a way larger ecosystem, and Stride actually has liquid staking tokens for a bunch of different cryptos within the Cosmos ecosystem, whereas Milky Way is literally only on Celestia. So he's saying that even though the total airdrop of Milky Way token is 10% versus 5% of Stride, that possibly you'd rather have 5% of a larger pie than 10% of a smaller one. And so his argument is that you don't know what the Milk token is going to be worth, you don't know how many tokens you're going to get, and you don't actually know yet when you're going to get them. Versus with Stride, you have a much better idea of what you're getting. You definitely know when you're going to get it, although in terms of the value of the token, when you actually get the airdrop, I'm not sure that's so easy to predict. And so when it all boils down to it, I think there's solid arguments on both sides, but for some reason, my monkey brain thinks that the Milky Way airdrop is going to be better. However, since I don't know that with certainty, I've allocated a little bit to each. I've got 10 TIA tokens staked with Stride, and I've got something like 25 staked with Milky Way, not in this wallet, but in another wallet I have some as well. And the beautiful thing about this is that by holding these liquid staking tokens, we've now actually confirmed that you still get the airdrops for Celestia ecosystem stakers. With Alt Layer, for example, even if you had 35 milkTIA in your wallet, you qualified for that. So you didn't actually need to stake it natively. So we're still getting those benefits of getting airdrops for staking TIA from the larger ecosystem. And then it just boils down to, what is your preference? Do you want to sort of gamble on, like John is saying, this opaque points program where you don't know what you're getting, but you could potentially get a larger payday, versus get more of like a stable yield? This Stride token airdrop is less of an airdrop and it's more of actually like yield farming, so you kind of have a rough idea of what you're getting. I don't know, it's nice to know, but I just feel like it's less exciting and there's less potential for an explosive or a massive amount. Versus with Milky Way, of course, there is the potential for it to be disappointing and kind of a letdown. However, it does have that massive upside potential as well, which you just don't really get with Stride since the token is already in circulation and there's so much of it on the market. So anyways, that's my take. I'm more heavily allocated towards Milky Way than Stride. I do still like both of them and I'm going to farm both, but with more of a favoring towards Milky Way and that Milk token. So that is my take. What do you think? Let me know down below. Do you agree more with what CC2 is saying, or do you like the approach of John Galt? Thanks again for watching and hopefully you have a great day.